people outside of our district, I'm not sure what their plan of care is, but we're very fortunate that we have an actual program and protocol for a plan of care for the kids with type 1 diabetes in the school. So it's, when are they going to test? How low is the blood glucose before they treat? What about the pumps in school? Who's going to be doing the bolusing? Is it the child, or is it the teaching assistant or the teacher? Who's going to do that? And then at the end, there's a paper for the parent to sign to say, I know that these teachers are not medical experts. We approve that they're going to do blood glucose monitoring and give boluses with the pump. So again, I guess that's another thing that is very important if you're going to consider a pump for your child, is what's going to happen when the child's in school.
And it's the parent's role to communicate with the school and teach them about what needs to be done, and the diabetes centers can support that, but really diabetes is managed different ways in different families, and it's up to the family to set the parameters. Schools aren't responsible to give injections, but with an insulin pump in a child who's not able to do it themselves, then they will provide support to oversee or supervise the child giving their bolus, for example, at lunch. And it's not their responsibility to count the carbohydrates that the child has eaten. The family has to work out a way that provides that information about what the content of the food is that they're eating, and then how much insulin that should be given for it, and then the child can be supervised. The teacher's role is also to help recognize and treat hypoglycemia, but that's whether a person's on a pump or not on a pump. They're not responsible to do things like change pump sites, and if the child's sick enough to need that, then parents should be coming to gather the child and take them home and manage that at home.
Yeah, she has a PSA, only part-time, and the PSA is a personal assistant, which is basically there to monitor her with her sugars. She has nothing with the pump itself. She doesn't know really a lot about it. Olivia does it all herself, and she's just there for guidance to make sure the numbers that Olivia is supposed to put into her pump are accurate. And that gives a lot of gives me a little bit of relaxation at work, knowing that at school there is somebody there monitoring her sugars closely with her. And if there is any problems, I mean, sometimes she starts swinging on the monkey bars and her pump site falls out. That happens. I just run to the school, change the pump site, and come back to work. I always have an extra site in my glove compartment of my car for backup, because you just never know.
For school, it's important to get the plan arranged before the pumping starts, because before the child might have been on an insulin that helps cover over lunchtime, or maybe the school was comfortable with an insulin pen and helping with that for lunchtime, but they have no idea what this insulin pump means, or they're not at a comfort level that they would feel they could assist with that. So you really have to get the parents in communication with the school. What's the school's policy? What workers do they have in place? Who's willing to help? Are they willing to help? If not, who else could we maybe look at in the community that would be allowed to help through the school and their policies? So they're really, really important. The last thing you want is that child going with their pump, their first day to school with their pump, and nobody knowing what's going on.
When he goes to school with his insulin pump, they'll actually have 2 trained EPAs at the school who will kind of help with his pump care and with his meals and stuff. I'm still going to stay home, so I'm going to be close by, but these people will be trained by myself and by the hospital staff as well in how to care for his pump, the different things that need to be done if he's running high or running low, and just kind of knowing like what to do in emergency situations.
When families are planning for a pump, a big part of that would be meeting with the school personnel. That would be the teacher, the principal, and find out what supports and resources will be available to them. Parents are ultimately responsible for the child in the school, However, it's our experience that the teacher assistants and teachers do want to learn the pump. They will help with the button pushing. They will help the children decide different situations. They will help them check their sugar. But when it comes down to any problems in school, you do have to be aware that your plan has to include phone numbers and access to a parent or family pretty much at all times. So it's a bit of a pressure on families. But the years do go by quickly, and the children do become resilient, and teachers and TAs are learning a lot, and they're very helpful. And it's not quite as daunting as you may feel, but families do really need to get prepared and have that early meeting prior to pumps. We as educators can help with that direction.